Let's do this thing, man. Let's do this midday live video, you guys. That's right, we're doing a midday live video. You heard I had to come on here do some shit because I'm actually going to be releasing a pre-recorded video. Let me get my sound. Let me get my sound situated for everybody just tapping in because okay, make sure my lighting is all right and we look Gucci. We look Gucci. I just wanted to come on and do a midday live stream, cover a few things that we actually didn't cover in the blog last night, in the podcast last night, a few of the topics, namely DJ K Slay. There was a lot being said about K Slay. Hassan mentioned a lot about K Slay and Wack 100 that was said on the podcast or the alleged podcast that they were working on together. I mean, apparently this podcast was going to have stories about Oscar de la Hoya. Apparently this podcast was going to have stories about, you know what I mean, Wack and Suge, I would have to say. There's just a number of draws that would have been there with a Wack 100 podcast alongside Hassan Campbell. Dub Honcho, share this video with 50 of your friends, and I will make you a moderator, my brother. And I will make you a moderator 100%. You know what I'm saying? Share this video with your friends, guys. Let them know Mikey T, the movie star, talks hip hop. We talk hip hop, but we talk it with everybody. You know what I mean? We talk hip hop together. You heard what I'm saying? And today I want to cover a piece that we didn't necessarily cover the other night because we were kind of focused on a few different things. The game being that, we were kind of focused on the game, being that the game has been so closely associated with Nipsey Hussle over the years, whether it was when Nip had originally given Game his demo back in the day. Nip gave him his demo. Game ultimately ended up bringing him on tour. Game lost a lot of his friends because of that. Game lost a lot of his associates. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Appreciate you all for tuning in. What up, P Black? What's going on, P Easy? Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in with me. I wanted to cover a portion of the exclusive that we didn't tap in on last night, and that was DJ K Slay. I think the majority of us know that K Slay and Wack 100 had a relationship. You know what I mean? K Slay and Wack 100, they had a relationship. It almost seemed like K Slay was bringing Wack on as one of his hosts for his show on YouTube. K Slay was a I don't want to call him a heavy YouTube bull just because that's what everybody would call me in Philly and shit like that. But K Slay was heavy on the YouTube, you guys. He was interviewing all types of people. He was interviewing OT the Real, all the way up to getting opportunities to interview some of the bigger names in the game that have actually blown up compared to the guys who are still on their way to blowing up. Major salute. My guy Apex is in the building. That's actually the producer of I Get Money from 50 Cent. 50 Cent's last big single, I guess you could say, unless you consider the new records that he's doing with Little Durk and the record that he did with Moneybagg Yo from BMF. Apex actually produced 50's last big record called I Get Money, which it's crazy. I got to give him his credits. I'm giving you your flowers, Apex. You had the biggest single on the Curtis album. When everybody else thought the biggest single on the Curtis album would more than likely be Ayo Technology with Justin Timberlake, the collaboration with Justin Timberlake, Timbaland, and 50 Cent, the biggest collaboration was actually I Get Money, and it was with 50 Cent and Apex. So I appreciate you being in the chat. I'm giving you your flowers, man. I'm giving you your flowers today. If nobody else has ever told you that, I'm letting you know right now. But I'm pretty sure you read it in multiple magazines. I'm pretty sure you saw it in a lot of buzz in the world of music and entertainment back in the day when everybody was saying, oh, Straight to the Bank didn't work. Amusement park didn't work. Ayo Technology came back with underwhelming results, but I Get Money was actually the record that made everybody say, okay, 50 Cent's finally got one. And it's kind of a throwback to the old. The way they shot the video was cool. You know, how he had all of his dudes actually come up and, you know, you saw all the dudes in the video who actually were a part of G Unit at that point. Even Maserati Fox was actually in that video, from what I remember. Mr. Bivens, appreciate you for tapping in. Major salute to you tapping in. We got Mars in the building. Everybody share this video. My brother, The Rock Finesse, is in the building tonight. The Rock Finesse. Finesse, man, let me know if you got a K-Slay story that you want to share with everybody. I'll send you the link, bro. Let me know, my brother. I was actually just talking to Finesse. He's one of the first dudes that he actually had me out to Far Rock before Chinks had me come out. So that's actually why I was so comfortable out there and shit, because like I was chilling with all these dudes from New York, and Finesse and his brother Iceberg actually had me out to Far Rock. I was running around Queens and shit back in the day. So that's why when Chinks Drugs had hit me up to come out and film in Far Rock, that's why it wasn't so out of the norm to me. You know, I was like, oh shit, bet. I'll come out to Chinks. You want me to film your video? I mean, we're talking about Stack Bundles right-hand man right now. You know what I mean? Me, Dice, Finesse, all the chosen ones. We was running around crazy at that point in time. Wow. Apex. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, Apex. Slay was at the video shoot. Definitely a major memory right there, huh, bro? Definitely a major memory right there. But yeah, this whole situation was kind of crazy because you probably remember seeing Wack 100 on K Slay's show. You know, you probably more infamously remember the argument that K Slay and that K Slay and Wack had on one of the shows, and it was kind of the last time. I think that was the last time we actually saw Wack and K Slay together on the air, or the last time I really took notice of them being on the air. And if anybody in the chat can remember why the argument went so far with Slay and Wack that day, to my knowledge, it just seemed like Wack kept on interrupting. You know, I really gave that interview a once over. I think it was the interview with Safari, because my guy literally just sent it to me on the gram. So that's how I remember it off top. You don't really remember the interview, though. You remember the argument with K Slay and, and Wack 100. At that point, Wack wasn't really the figure that he is today. So it was like, yo, Wack, stop messing up K Slay's interview. You know what I mean? Why are you messing up K Slay's interview? Chill out. Like when K Slay has the opportunity to talk to certain people, when K Slay had the opportunity to have all these different guests on his show, you would want to hear the questions that Slay was asking them, because he wasn't like the typical dude doing the interview. He wasn't like every other person doing an interview. That's why you would like watch Slay's interviews back in the day. But let's not get it twisted either. Slay always was having dudes rap too. That's what it always led to. You know what I mean? But I like the interview segments beforehand as well. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Steven? Appreciate you for tapping in. Just had to go live because I didn't really cover this, man. Because I didn't really cover this, to be honest with you. I didn't cover this last night when we were streaming, and I felt the need to go over it today. Hassan had spoke about DJ K Slay, and he had spoke about Wack 100, and we all know the relationship that they had. I mean, K Slay at one point had posted a message where he spoke about, this message is kind of going a little viral today. It's a message from back in 2017 when K Slay actually, posted up that him and Wack were really tight. That if he hit up Wack 100 tomorrow, he could get 100K from Wack. That Wack would have 100K in his account. Seemed like that was speaking more figuratively, you know what I mean, than literal. You know what I'm saying? I remember watching videos with K Slay. The dude was the GOAT, man, talking about, oh, man, I got this condo and it's $5,000 a month. I really shouldn't be doing that because I could really just buy something. K-Slay later said on he went on to buy something. Like he was really living like a superstar, man. He was a rock star DJ. You know what I mean? When the DJ's opinion mattered, when somebody could literally throw a CD and that CD wouldn't spin back around. That was K-Slay. You know what I'm saying? But also, he really put a lot of people on, as Hassan Campbell gave him credit for. He actually said, Hassan said, for as many people, like for just a few people that he didn't have the opportunity to put on, there's so many that he actually did put on. I'll get on to that, man, in a second. Montana Max, appreciate you for tapping in. Montana Max, aren't you an artist? Aren't you a rapper, bro? I seem to remember hearing your name in the scene. I need everybody to share this video. Let them know Mikey T, the movie star, is in this bitch, keeping it real. We talk hip hop in here, man. Nate, what's going on? We're really still just at the introduction of the show. We're about to get into everything, man. I was really just getting into an old message that had surfaced, right? An old message had surfaced where K-Slay was vouching for the friendship that he had with Wack 100. Now, somebody in the chat had just posted that he remembered the argument on air that they got on. K-Slay is nice enough to let Wack 100 be in the presence of everybody that he's interviewing. When you get the opportunity to sit with a legend or just sit with any interviewer in general, and you're sitting with that interviewer and you're getting to soak up a little bit of game there, you know what I mean? It's taking you a little bit further in the industry. Now, Wack 100 really got his start right there. And to me, it was all till that day that they argued. But my guy Iceberg right here, Iceberg 32, not to be confused with the Iceberg, who is the moderator in the chat, but he said, yeah, I remember watching the video of that. At times, K would pull Wack on the side and talk some sense to Wack. Yeah, he did. He tried to stop him to make it look on camera a few times, but you could just tell that wasn't really going to work out. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if I'm 100% correct about this, but as somebody who has seen probably 95% of K-Slay's interviews, I've seen about 95% of the interviews that he's posted on YouTube. I don't really ever remember Wack popping too much up after that. Now, Wack had gone on to say that he played a major role in what K-Slay did. Now, just looking at it from the outside in, I really didn't understand what Wack 100 meant by that. K-Slay has been known to work at every different radio station. K-Slay is known to release albums. K-Slay is actually known to manage artists himself. So I wasn't really understanding where Wack 100 fit into the play. You know what I mean? I really wasn't understanding how he had so much of a percentage or a partnership within the K-Slay show. I looked at it like K-Slay was giving him a bit of an alley-oop, which it's kind of like when Wendy Williams had Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying? Kind of to a way, but maybe not the same. Maybe not totally the same, because obviously a lot more people know about the relationship that Wendy Williams and Charlemagne took on, and I don't remember seeing Wack in too many episodes. You know what I mean? Exactly, Finesse. He also had the Straight Stuntin' magazine. So he really had his hands in a whole lot of different shit. So, unless Wack really explains that a little bit more, I'm not really understanding where their partnership was. You know what I mean? I'm not really understanding that. Why would Wack 100 be needed in the situation? You know what I mean? Why would Wack 100 be needed in the situation? K-Slay was already moving from station to station like any successful dude would. You know what I mean? K-Slay said, take your cape off, meaning you can't save this one. Yeah, sometimes dudes be thinking they're superheroes. You know what I mean? And that's the saying, they're like, take your cape off. What's going on, Detail? Appreciate you for tapping in, man. Nate Money said, I think Wack is living up to his name. Wack, he has a bad look for the West with this Nipsey shit. Yeah, 100%. He's a bad look for the West on the Nipsey shit. And that's why last night I was talking about the fact that the game may need to speak up about this. You know, the game was on Drink Champs where he kind of just vouched for Wack 100. I mean, he certainly vouched for Wack 100. He had him on the interview for a portion of his show. You know what I mean? He took a portion of his interview and actually put Wack 100 there. So that says something. You know, now when Nori pressed Game and asked Game, how do you feel about Wack? How do you feel about Wack dissing everybody? How do you feel about him stirring up all this controversy? You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, that's Wack. Wack do what Wack do. You know what I mean? The Game really downplayed it. But I think we've got a more serious topic at the table right now, you guys. I think it's a more serious topic when you bring in another West Coast legend. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, man. We're going to have to wait and see how that shit plays out. So let's talk about this shit. Let's talk about this shit, you guys. Now, I just mentioned how K Slay said him and Wack 100 would always play with each other. You know what I mean? They would always diss each other. You know what I mean? They'd always make fun of each other. Somebody get me a date. If you guys could get me a date on that Safari interview, then we can really get to the bottom of that shit. You know what I'm saying? A tweet will always save you. A tweet will always save you. You know what I mean? Tweet will always save you in this game because my shit got hacked. We really just play with each other. We just be joking, different type of shit like that. So Hassan got into it, man. He said, you thought you were going to squeeze me. I am not K Slay. Rest in peace. We love you, K Slay. You was one of the greatest gatekeepers in hip hop. You gave everyone a chance you possibly could. And if you overlooked some, you gave many people a chance. We love you, K Slay. But anyone out here who really loves K Slay, Wack was bragging about squeezing him. Bragging. Wack was bragging about squeezing K Slay allegedly. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain level, man. You know, because we've heard what he said about Nori and academics, and we've heard what he said about Adam 22. Basically saying that he has these people in his back pocket. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's necessarily bragging just because you say you have somebody in your back pocket. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have to assume it's not just that. You know what I mean? But it could just be something as simple as that. It could be something just as simple as that, man. You know, because K Slay and Wack had a relationship. If you think about it, all the names I just said, when you go to link with Nori, you got you're going to Miami. You know what I'm saying? You're linking with Adam 22, you're in the West Coast. You link with Gilly and Wallow, you're going to Philly. That's East Coast. When you were linking with K Slay, you were going to New York City. Wack 100 covered his bases, you guys. Wack covered his bases by messing with all of these different entities in the game. But the one thing you can't do, the one thing that will ruin you is when you start bragging about it. When you start bragging about the fact that everybody is on you. When everybody is, when you got to just let it be. You got to ride the wave. You can't start bragging about the fact that you're up on the wave. Yo, man, look at me. I'm on the highest wave. Look at me. Everybody's on my shit. Like when you get to be like that and you're bragging to other people just to bring them into your cause, yo, man, we'll have you situated with Adam 22. He'll say, what time and date do you want to do it? Because he's in my back pocket. When you start saying shit like that, oh, Case, you're in New York City. You don't want to mess with me? Why don't you want to mess with me? I'll have you on K-Slay tomorrow night. That's the type of shit that Wack was doing with these big personalities in his back pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's like Birdman. Here's a more formal, it's like Birdman talking to Universal. I've got Lil Wayne. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? Shit like that. March 20th, 2017. Okay. So March 20th, 2017. So that's the date. Let me think about this. What was the question I was trying to pose right there? The question I was trying to pose is the date that it happened. And all right. So the date that it happened, and then when did the tweet come out? So I want to know what the date. So March 20th, 2017, that's the date when the interview aired. Now, when did that tweet from K Slay come out? So you could really cross-reference that. But you really can't, you guys. You really can't necessarily cross-reference it because sometimes these shows are recorded a month in, you know what I mean? But we really could. So I need both dates to cross reference. I didn't go that far with the research, you guys. I wanted to come on for an episode this afternoon, being that we didn't cover this portion of the topic. You know, Hassan is selling. He's telling the world right now that he planned on doing a podcast with Wack 100. Any issue with that? Nope. There's no issue with Hassan doing a podcast with Wack 100, you guys. Now, when you look at Wack 100 doing a podcast with 6ix9ine, you've got some controversy there. You know what I mean? You've got some controversy there. It's like, why are you doing that with 6ix9ine? It's like the CC show doing the live video with 6ix9ine. It's like you came so far in the game. Why do you want to do a video with 6ix9ine? Do you really want the clout that bad? Like you've already got 100,000 plus followers on your network. Do you really want to jeopardize your integrity? You know, because that's originally why Gilly the Kid said, no, 6ix9ine, I don't want you on the show. But it's like a lot of these brands, they just want that extra dose of credibility to turn their shit up. You know what I mean? Now, let me just tell you, Wallow told a lot of upcoming brands this, a lot of YouTube brands. If you're going to get an opportunity like that, you better make sure that you're ready to follow it up. Look at what happened with Hassan Campbell. Look at what Hassan did. Hassan had his opportunity on For the Record. He really had two opportunities on it, and he fired back. He came back and showed you what he can do on his YouTube channel. All those subscribers that came over from academics, all those subscribers that came over from Wack 100, from 6ix9ine, however many, because you know, just because you got a million people watching, it doesn't mean you're going to get a million new followers. You'll probably get a couple thousand new followers who will legitimately tune in. And that's where Hassan Campbell won, you guys. That's where he won because he had a follow-up. He got put on a platform and he had a way to follow it up. Nico, he's using this for publicity. Y'all talking about that goofy. Him and Hassan working together. Ain't no beef with them. They're making money. Stop talking about these clowns. Well, Nico, that was a thought in my mind as well. You know what I mean? Okay, this conversation is recorded pretty crisp. This conversation has to be something more than just a unauthorized call. You know what I mean? An unauthorized recording. I thought that immediately when I heard it. Sounded just a little bit too clear, like it was going to be put out as a podcast potentially. You know what I'm saying? As if it was like a web to like spin off and do multiple ideas for multiple different podcasts. Hell, it was an introduction. It was an introduction to what could have been of Wack 100 and Hassan Campbell. These two together, it would have been major. If academics could have had them under his umbrella as a podcast, it would have been major. It would have made millions. You hear what I'm saying? Shade 45 radio, March 11th. Now I need the date of that tweet, brother. Montana Max. I remember they secretly recorded Beans talking about Meek, but yeah, that was like right after Beans actually recorded the diss song with Meek. He didn't really record too much on that, you know what I mean? He did a few things though, but at the time, the Game was known as such a big artist. You know what I'm saying? The Game, he still has his clout, you know what I mean? But Beanie Siegel really got to see the Game come in and become bigger than he was. You know what I mean? The game actually got to rock out more than Beanie Siegel to a certain extent. And that's why Beans actually respects him so much. That's legitimately why he respects him so much. Yo, what up? What up, Fort? Appreciate you for tuning in. 7:30. Shout out my guy. Shout out my guy. Appreciate you for tapping in, man. So let's get back into this for everyone just tapping in. I wanted to come in and cover this piece because actually the other night we didn't talk about it. You know, we didn't talk about when it came to K Slay. We were pretty much just covering why Hassan released the audio. You know, he told the world that he had a podcast, but also he had a few things to say about the game. You know, I think all of us who are fans of the game had a little something to say about the game in that situation because it's like, yo, man, like it's like back in the day when we all found out what was going on with Jimmy Henchman and Tupac, and now the game's being managed by this dude, and the game is literally talking about how Tupac is his everything. You know what I mean? Not to be dramatic, you know what I mean? But the game would really get a little spicy when he was talking about legends like Eazy-E and shit like that. It was like he was like on some real fanboy shit. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? I mess with his idols, you know what I mean? His idols are actually my idols more so than like the Run DMC era and all that. You know what I'm saying? The game's idols are more so to my generation. So I totally respect, you know, what he's doing there. What up, Pert Gambit? Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Yeah, exactly, Ray Leak. Beanie Siegel was doing more jail time in his prime. You're 100% right. Wow, that's crazy. Now that I'm thinking about that, Raleek, or RT, I'll call you if I'm not saying your name properly, bro. My bad. But that's crazy because you know I interviewed Cassidy, and the fact that Cassidy he got locked up when I'm a Hustler came out. Cassidy was locked up when his best album was out. So you would call that his prime. Yeah. King Wavy TV is in the building. Okay, I love it. I love it, man. He said Straight Stunting Magazine in jail is the best, hands down. K Slay was doing real shit, man, for the culture, man. Whether it was jumping on the radio, whether it was putting an album in stores, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was putting out a magazine with some baddies. K Slay was doing some real shit. Good afternoon, Uprise. What's popping with you, man? What is popping with you, man? Oh, shit. Yep. K Slay told the world that Wack was his little bro, man. Salute to my bro. Salute to my bro Mars. He be keeping me up to date on some shit. You know what I mean? Salute to my bro Uprise, man. Appreciate everybody tapping in with me, man. Highly qualified. Highly qualified. Highly qualified is in the building. Wack 100 in game are snakes. And Hassan Campbell shared your same thought. I am glad 50 Cent kicked Game out of G Unit. Wow. You're glad about that. I actually thought that was 100% bad move. Like, I'm not trying to be like that guy or anything. I'm just speaking from a business standpoint. I'm speaking from a fan standpoint. If the game would have remained in G Unit, it would have made for a lot more interesting music. I thought 50 should have just really, you know, he should have really manned up, let the game do what he wants to do. Like he wanted to work with Nas, he wanted to work with Fat Joe, he wanted to work with Jadakiss. How do you expect the man to go on and have an album that was worthy of following up the documentary without working with classic artists like that? He really just stopped his own artists from, you know, selling a bunch of units again. So I thought that was a bad move on 50's point, kicking the game out of G Unit. Not to mention the Beg for Mercy follow up that we would have got. But that's a little bit off topic, man. That's a little bit off topic when we come to this whole situation. You know, Game actually had a whole different manager when he was with G Unit. When Game got linked up with Wack, the one thing I'll commend Wack on doing is that he got him lined up with E1 Music. They actually released 4, 5, 6 albums at this point. You know what I mean? They've actually put out 4 or 5 albums at this point on E1. So he's got just about, I was looking at it one day when I was in the CD store a few years ago, of course. CD stores really aren't that big anymore. But I'm in the store and I'm like, I'm seeing all of his albums, his 4 or 5 albums with Aftermath, and then I'm looking there, not Aftermath, but Interscope. And then I'm looking over here and he has just as many albums with E1. I'm like, that was genius, because now you've got a major catalog. You've got, nobody can really say no shit about the game in comparison to that. That dude done put out just as many E1 albums as he ever put out with Interscope. Highly Qualified said Hassan destroyed Wack 100. I'm going to put up a poll, you guys. I want to know in the chat. I want to know what you guys think in the chat. Did Hassan Campbell end Wack 100's podcast career? I want to know. Everybody, you can vote in the chat right now. Did he end his podcast career? Because look at what he said. Look at what Hassan said. He said that he was supposed to be on the podcast that had Wallow on it. He was supposed to be on the podcast that had Wallow on it and Gilly on it and Adam 22 and Academics on it. He was supposed to be there and not Reek. That's interesting to me. You know what I mean? They would have been a great duo. Are they working us right now? I don't think so. I don't think so. If they're working us right now, Wack 100 doesn't take it to the point where he's talking about shutting down his YouTube channel. Like, that's not cool. That's not good views. That's not continuing the cool ass narrative. So it's not a cool ass narrative. It's two people who came together and ultimately had a disagreement. Maybe they were working together. Maybe they were spitballing ideas. You know what I mean? But something went wrong. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Academics actually share this video, y'all. Let's get 100 people in this bitch. Share this video, y'all. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the end of the podcast, well, at the end of Gilly and Wallow's portion of the podcast, the 100 Show podcast, Academics said to them, "Hey guys, I got a deal I can give to you. I got a deal that I can get on the table for you guys." And Gilly said that he was going to be rocking with Barstool. You know, Barstool obviously is one of the biggest networks in the freaking world. So Gilly and them are doing great over there. It's done well to expand $1 million worth of game, but obviously Academics is getting money. For him to have the idea to create a podcast with Hassan and Wack, that's probably what it would have done. You know, that's probably what would have had to have been done in order for Wack's podcast to take off. He's got the ultimate co-host in Hassan Campbell. Now, I might be, just thinking wrong here because of the fact that it's all said and done. It's already over at this point, but they would have had the podcast that really shook up the internet. They would have been the two guys who could talk about any topic, any type of topic, you guys. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about anything in general. Doesn't even necessarily have to pertain to hip hop. These guys could really talk about it, man. You know, they could interview different people together and it would have just been really seriously interesting. But now that's not going to happen because of the fact that, you know, Hassan rubbed Wack the wrong way. I don't know if it has to do with Itch or Ish, whatever his name is, from Treyway, who pled out. I'm not really sure if that's what it has to do with, guys. I'm not really sure if that's what it boils down to because of the fact that this dude was asking for money. Hassan was wondering why 6ix9ine wouldn't give him the money. Wack 100 actually shut down that whole thing. Why is money being spent? Is it money being spent on radio? Is it money being spent on visuals? Is it money being spent on me and my managerial fee? Oh, it's money for the guys who ruined your career and made it so that you will never now sell 300,000 records in a week. Because if 6ix9ine never snitched, he probably would have sold 2 or 300,000 in a week when he got out. And he probably would have got out in 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Kidding me? Dude signed a $13 million deal after the fact that he told. Imagine if he never told. He probably would have signed a $17 million deal. He probably would have got that deal that Young Dolph was talking about. May he rest in peace. Was that a $21 million deal that Dolph was talking about? These artists were getting the biggest deals, you guys. These artists are changing the game. 6ix9ine, the fact that he told, he jeopardized his career. He's got the short bag, but will it ever lead to some long money? We're going to have to wait and see. I mean, he had that little Hulu deal. We'll have to see what comes next from this situation. Share this video, everybody. We ain't done yet. We ain't done by a long shot yet. I'm Mikey T, the movie star. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I interact with the chat. This is a live podcast, you guys. It doesn't get much more litter than this. Nico says they are both faker than the WWE. Damn, Nico, you was going hard on these guys, man. Are you the Nico? Did you create Little Dirk and NBA Youngboy in the WWE game, the 2K22 game, and had them two coming out wrestling each other? Someone's going to need to create the MGK and the Eminem joint, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Major respect to everybody tapping in. Hell yeah, man. That's all we do is we spit the hard truth on this channel. I just seen somebody actually comment. But last night we actually missed the portion about, DJ K Slay. So I wanted to come back with it, man. So Hassan went on, right? Wack was bragging about squeezing him, getting all the money out of him. That's why they were so close. He was squeezing him because everybody had to go to California. They had to pay their dues, allegedly. I've got the tapes, potty mouth. So Hassan is saying that pretty much when these guys would go to California, they would have to check in with Wack 100. This takes us back to the old check-in policy. This takes us back to the policy of hit the dude in the city, make sure you're good while you're in the city, That's why they were so close. He was squeezing him because everybody had to go to California. Why does everybody have to go to California? Because it's the biggest market for music outside of New York. When you're really there promoting your shit, you got to be in California, you got to be in New York. And then right outside of that, you got to be in Atlanta and you got to be in Miami. Outside of those two major cities, that's what you got to do. If anybody wants to know, I just gave you the blueprint right there. I just gave you the blueprint. Then you can put some of the other spots in. You can put your Texases. You can put your Phillies. You know what I'm saying? You can put these other states in. Then you can go hit your Connecticut's and your Massachusetts and get into some of those other spots. You know what I'm talking about in the Midwest as well. Brainstorm this shit, you guys. We're about to take this shit over, man. Soon as Gilly the Kid puts me in position to run $1 million worth of game records as an A&R, baby. We're about to start running this shit all over, you guys. I'm about to turn $1 million worth of game records into MMG. Mark my words. As soon as Gilly puts the chain around my neck and makes it official and says, Mikey T, you got the key to run throughout the city. That's what we're going to do. And then I'm going to turn this shit all the way up. You're going to see where we're going to go. Free Shug, Vegas, major salute, Shauna. Appreciate you for tapping in today. Highly Qualified said, Wack. Wack is talking like he's the king of Cali. Hey, man, that's an interesting statement right there, Highly Qualified. It's an interesting statement right there. So, yeah, they had to pay their dues. They had to pay their dues. You know, it's kind of hard to believe. I really don't understand what they mean by pay their dues. By pay their dues, do you mean like bring you out to the club with them so you could pop bottles in their section? Like, it's a really strange situation. Whenever I've checked in with somebody, it's usually like, yo, what's good, man? I'm coming to the area. I'm doing a couple air interviews here, da 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 da. And that's pretty much all it is. You know what I mean? I'm here. I'm showing some love. I know this is your area. If you want to lock in, in some circumstance, you could consider that paying dues, paying respect. But yeah, and then he's calling him a potty mouth. At first I really didn't get. At first I really didn't get the whole situation. Like, why would Wack be talking to Hassan Campbell like this? You know what I'm saying? I really didn't get it. I'm like, why would he show his hand so quickly? If you know anything about cards, you're not going to show your hand right off the bat with somebody, but looking back, footage that we've all heard, we've all seen, we all heard academics tell the story of, bigging up Hassan Campbell to Wack 100. This is the next biggest blogger alive. This is the next big thing. You know what I mean? Going from the independent market, going from the solo independent market to a major entity that Hassan has become. This is the next big thing. So, Wack was just trying to build with him. And I'm just like, yo, why is he exposing his hand so freely, so quick? But Hassan made it clear they were actually going to do a podcast together. When you do a podcast with somebody, it's about telling your full truth, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You've got to tell your full truth, or there is no point in telling it. And that's why, you guys, and my question was answered immediately. That's why they were actually doing this together. I'm thinking at first, all right, so you record the conversation to expose him. Yeah, that's just the easy way to look at it. Then you got another way you could look at it. They planned the conversation to stir up controversy. But then, even more likely than that, even more likely than the second, they were actually working on a podcast together. They had already actually started recording and brainstorming for the podcast. They ended up scrapping it, and Hassan still had the content. It makes absolute sense. You know what I mean? It makes absolute perfect sense to me. I think that would probably be the most likely of the situations, because doing that shit where you fake a phone call, you know what I mean? And you kind of like you plan something out and you trick the fans, ultimately that's going to end up to bite you in the ass anyways. Nah. I haven't heard Pusha T's new album yet. They told me that it dropped last night. They told me that it actually dropped last night, though, when we were doing the stream. Yep. Nico, I haven't actually heard of I haven't heard of a podcast with Charleston White and Wack 100. I think Hassan did just shout out Charleston White, though. Let me roll something up, man. What am I going to roll up? Where's my chronic? There we go. There we go. And I'm wearing my slow burner shirt. This is what we're going to roll up, you guys. Parts unknown. Let me get some of this good shit in the air, you guys. Pusha T's album is sick. All right, I'm about to check it out. I was actually just beginning to watch his interview where he was actually talking about the Drake conversation. He was actually talking about the Drake conversation on his recent interview, so I'm going to have to get into that, man. So let me get back into this, though. Excuse me, guys. Hassan said, let me see. Hold on. Hassan went on. Haas is not playing with you. Haas is not playing with you. I won't bend. He did the whole shoddy right here. I won't bend. I won't fold, and you won't squeeze me. I'm not K Slay. You're gonna go to the funeral after all that you had to say about him? And this is a crazy analogy that he brings up. He said, right now, this is where you put the scene up and you show Tupac in the movie Juice hugging his boy's mom after he hit his man up. Hassan brought it back to the movie Juice with Tupac. He brought it back to the movie Juice with Tupac, where Pac was pretty much hunting down his friends. You know what I mean? Or, I mean, however you want to look at it, you know, whether his friends ended up in the wrong position or he kind of noticed a little bit of unloyalty in them. But yeah, he kind of likened it to that, where he's like, yo, he can go take the shit from the Juice film, put it up with what I'm saying, and it's going to stand. It's pretty much what Hassan Campbell's saying right there. Wack 100. You know what I mean? He's got these friends, these alleged friends in the industry, but then he's going to talk shit behind their back. You know what I mean? He's building this relationship with academics. He's building this relationship with Adam 22. He's been on the No Jumper podcast a few times now. You know what I mean? He's got this relationship with Game, but meanwhile, he's disrespecting and discrediting one of the Game's closest homies. You know what I mean? Literally, a lot of people always would ask Game, why didn't you sign Nipsey Hussle? Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why wouldn't you sign Nipsey Hussle? Why didn't you have the ear for that shit? You know what I mean? Probably a major mistake. Probably a major mistake for the Game not to sign Nipsey Hussle back then. Damn, this Parts Unknown is looking good, you guys. I'm going to put up a poll, you guys. I'm going to put up a poll right now. I want to know what y'all think about this. Because the Game, point blank, the Game should have signed Nipsey Hussle. Let's be real. So I'm putting it up in a poll, you guys. It's a simple yes or no. Should the Game have signed Nipsey Hussle? I want to know what y'all think. Well, Buana, he actually has the Black Wall Street. I want to know what y'all think in the poll, man. Let me know, man. What up, Peasy? Appreciate you for tapping in. This is just a piece of the discussion that I missed last night. I wanted to touch up on it today. So I appreciate everybody tapping in, man. You know, pretty heavy conversation here. You know, Wack 100 and Hassan is just like an ongoing story. Don't really know where it's going to go next, to be honest with you. Wack 100 probably is going to be talking about this on Clubhouse for quite some time. I know he actually put out a response to everything. Yeah, he put out an actual response to everything where he was, you know, talking about the fact that he hadn't spoke with Big U. You know what I mean? That he hadn't spoke with Big U in quite some time. So he basically discredited Hassan Campbell's whole timeline of the account of events, saying that he had not been on the phone with Big U for over a year, maybe a year and a half. So he really discredited what Hassan Campbell said there. Major salute, major salute. DC tapping in tonight. All right, we got DC in the building. Major salute to DC, man. No soft spot. Yeah, I do. I got a Clubhouse. It's Mikey T Movie Star. If anybody wants to follow me on Clubhouse, I be on there. I be on Clubhouse doing my thing. You know what I mean? My guy from Big Chuck be having me on. Bullets Gotti actually did an interview with me on there. Yep, Bullets Gotti actually did an interview with me on there, man. Major salute, Nico. Major salute to Philly. You know, I always mess with Philly. I say Philly is the mecca of hip hop to me. A lot of people be telling me I'm bugging when I say that, but I only say Philly's the mecca of hip hop to me because of how many artists are out there and how it's really easy to actually get in contact with them and work. You know what I mean? I put in a shitload of work in Philly, you guys. I put a shitload of work in Philly. And I plan on putting a whole lot more in. You know what I mean? I'm planning on putting in work in all the biggest cities. I'm not done. I'm going to the next level with this shit, you guys. I'm going to be traveling around to every single major city. Don't get it twisted. And major salute to Ricky Rose. He's got the car show coming up in 29 days. I don't know if no other bloggers talking about it, I'm talking about it, you guys. I wish I had my Dutch on deck, though. I must have left it in the car. Ain't no biggie, though. Major salute. Like I said, major salute to Philly, bro. Major salute to Philly. Some good shit right here. I should be using my Rick and Morty tray, and I just got a new tray. I think I'm about to give that away, though. I think I'm about to give my tray away, though. I probably should give it to one of you guys watching here. If anybody would want to get if one of my followers right now, if one of my followers in here would like to get a glow in the dark rolling tray as a gift, if I get 50 thumbs up in here, I will consider doing a giveaway. You got to put a thumb up in the chat. Put a thumb up in the chat, and I'll consider giving away a $50 rolling tray, glows in the dark. If we get 50 thumbs up in the chat right now, if you guys flood it, if 50 of y'all flood that shit with thumbs up, I'm going to just start doing giveaways. That's right. We'll do something new. I don't know if other bloggers are doing giveaways. I'll start doing giveaways. But I'm giving you guys the opportunity right now. We got one. All you guys got to do is this. All you guys got to do is this. I want 50 of you. We got 70 people in here. If I get 50 of you to put thumbs up, if I get 50 of you guys to interact in this chat right now, I'm going to consider doing giveaways, you guys. Hip hop memorabilia, smoking shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can even send some bottles. Maybe we can even send some bottles out. You know what I'm saying? But if we get 50, let me get 50 thumbs up. Okay, hold on. 100. Okay, the Godfather chat spoke. Come on, let's go. I want everybody in here to put the thumbs up, and we're going to start doing giveaways on this channel. I want everybody to start interacting on this channel. We're going to start doing all types of giveaways. Shit, my man's having a show tonight in Providence. Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow is coming out tonight in Providence, Rhode Island. We can give away a couple tickets to that shit. You know what I'm saying? VIP, come stunt with Mikey T in the club. We're going to do all types of giveaways. Let me see what we got here. Put them thumbs up right now, man. Everybody, thumbs up. All right. I see some people logged out. I guess they don't want me to do giveaways. It's all good. We had like 10 people log out. I guess they don't want me to do giveaways. It's all good. What's popping? Appreciate you for tapping in. Fresh, what up? Evergreen, what up? What up? What up? Yeah, we're gonna have to start. Yeah, so it's gonna have to be. We're gonna have to do 100 comments on this video. If we get 100 comments on this video, I'm gonna start doing some hip hop giveaways, and it'll be lit. Let me see. Hold on. I'm just making sure everything's Gucci. I'm gonna have a video premiering tonight. You guys be sure to tap in. Ricky Moore, you're hilarious, bro. Appreciate you for tapping in. No soft spot. Free Chef G. Hell yeah. Free Chef G, bro. You was 100% right. Free Chef G. Major salute. Major salute to Sleepy Hollow. My boys got the show in Providence, Rhode Island tonight. If anybody's in Rhode Island, let me know. That's right. VIP, come and stunt with Mikey T. That's right. We're going to have to start doing giveaways and shit like that. VIP, come stunt with Mikey T. You know what I'm saying? We go out to the club. We get a bottle. We go into the DJ booth. You know what I'm saying? We do all that shit. Free Chef G. Damn right. Free Chef G. Hopefully he comes home soon. I seen there was a picture of him that was released not too long ago. Major salute to Chef G. I hope he comes home soon, man. He's a real one. And he was really starting to make an impression on the game. I need everybody to share this video. What up, Dub Honcho? Appreciate you for tapping in. Major salute to everybody tapping in on today's video. I just wanted to come on and cover a topic of it that we missed the other night. You know, a big part of the conversation is Wack 100's relationship with DJ K Slay. You know, from whatever, you know what I mean? From it's all relationships, all friendships really have the elements of, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's just that not too many times do you really get to see, you know, arguments play out, you know, when live interviews are going on. I mean, we saw it once or twice, right, you guys, when G Unit had come back together. I think once or twice 50 and Yayo were disagreeing on the radio. You know, it seemed like a couple different issues were happening there. You know what I mean? So it's not like this is the first time we've ever seen things go left. But it just so happens that, you know, with these new interviews that 6ix9ine is doing, it's always a confrontation. You know what I mean? Now, when you look back to the interview where K Slay and Wack 100 got into a little bit of a argument, you know, when you look back to that, it's not in the same way. You know, it's not in the same way whatsoever. It's kind of like, you know, like K Slay said, Wack was like his little bro back then. Wack still wasn't in position that he's in now, even though at that point, he had already had whatever success with Ray J. He had already had whatever success with the game. You know what I mean? He still wasn't in the point where he was the big media guy. You know what I mean? Where blogs were actually writing stories about him. That wasn't until more recently. And it was a little bit after everything that happened with him and Stitches. You know what I mean? After everything that, because Stitches didn't really get Wack 100 all the way up. You know, let's be honest. Stitches didn't really get him all the way up. It was a couple other things, you know. He really reinvented himself, though, I'll tell you that much. What do you guys say in the chat? What was it? What was it actually in the chat, you guys? I want to ask you all, please tell me in the chat, what was it that pushed Wack 100 Iceberg? Do you know? What was it in the chat that pushed Wack 100 over the top to the point where he became that household name that all the blogs could write about? That's what I want to know as I'm going to find my Duchess. There we go. Them shits was in my truck. Them shits was in my truck. Because I guess I smoked all the other ones. I threw a bunch of packs out like an hour ago. I threw a bunch of packs out. Then I went out and got some coffee. And I come back. Now I got nothing left in the room. Talking about death row, baby. Yeah, you know I'm waiting to get my death row chain. I'm waiting to get my I'm waiting to get that $1 million worth of game chain. We're going to take this shit to the whole next level. I told Gil, we're going to take this shit to the whole next level. We're going to turn $1 million worth of game into the new MMG. He might think I'm bugging right now, but y'all know my history. He's just controversial while he's chilling with a rat. Yeah. Being disrespectful, daring somebody to do something, which is nobody but J-Rock did, SMH. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing with J-Rock. You know what I mean? That's really a whole nother thing with J-Rock that I might cover at some point. We might cover that tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out what type of show I'm putting on for you guys tomorrow night, Saturday night. But it's definitely going to be an interesting one. We might have a special guest. We might have a special guest who is going to be able to elaborate on the Eminem battle with the game just a little bit more. You hear what I'm saying? We might have a guest on that's going to be able to talk about that situation just a little bit more, a little bit better than the average person could. So I want you all to stay tuned for my live video. Tomorrow night, regular time about 10 p.m. Rolling up right now, you guys. I had to run out to my whip and get my damn Duchess. Sorry about that for everybody. I don't usually have to do that. I'm usually more than prepared. You know what I'm saying? But I still got to go to the store. And I got an exclusive video for you guys prepared tonight on Pooh Shiesty. So make sure you're tuning into the channel then. Also, tomorrow I'm going to have that throwback. Tomorrow I'm going to have that throwback interview with RJ Payne for y'all, man. So y'all gonna know what I got coming on the channel, man. And then Saturday we're actually going to be having a dope ass live video as well, man. SV Twiz is going to be back on the channel. Hopefully we're going to have a guest. We're going to have a guest that could talk about the Eminem and game battle. That's going to be crazy. I'm excited about that one, actually, just because, having somebody that's actually closer to the situation, to talk about it. Right now, I'm actually smoking on this. You guys, let me know. What up, Kilo? Let me know what you guys are smoking on. Right now, I'm blazing on that Parts Unknown. You guys. So let me know what y'all are smoking, man. I bet you're smoking good. Evergreen. My guy, Evergreen, with the super sticker. Major salute on the $5 super sticker, bro. You know I appreciate that shit. Man. That's love right there. Everybody that sends a super chat, I definitely appreciate that. Everybody that endorses the channel, I appreciate that, man. Whoever subscribe, if you're not subscribed, man, you heard me? If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. Make sure you never miss one of my live videos. I interact with y'all. We go back and forth. We politic. This is the channel. This is the channel with the vibes. Hell yeah, Evergreen. You know the vibes, bro. All right, what do we got? What's everybody smoking on? My man Kilo says he's smoking on them pink runs, which is good as hell. My dude Finesse told me he was smoking on the white runs earlier. And my boy Dice was actually showing me all types of weed from California, you guys. Apparently in California, you can get some 32% cereal milk for like $70. Get this, 28% this other chronic. It was $45, but then they had some strawberry cough, 26%, $25 an eighth. Can you believe that shit? I bet you it's still $40 an eighth with taxes though out there in Cali. I bet you it's still $40 an eighth. That's what I heard, Nico. I heard it's legal in New Jersey now. You know, I don't really be out in New Jersey like that. I was about to go last week. I don't go to New Jersey too frequently, but when I get the opportunity, I do go. Like when I got the opportunity to actually interview Fat Boy SSE, and when I got the opportunity to interview Sue Surf, I actually went. I think Surf actually was in Connecticut. Yeah, Surf was actually in Connecticut, but I had to jet out to Jersey to interview Fat Boy SSE. When I get an opportunity, you guys, if they're like, "Yo, Mikey T, we need you in Atlanta because we got to interview," or "Mikey T, we need you in DC because we need you to interview this guy," I'm usually gonna be there, man. I'm usually gonna be that for that shit. Okay, Evergreen. Yes, you know we know the vibes, brother. Appreciate you for tapping into these lives, man. Dub says he's blazing on that Z Kittles, which I've never really had my hands on, man. I'll be 100% honest with you. I never had my hands on that shit. Green crack. Okay, that one's a joint that I smoked back in the day. Back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean like 2 years. Don't get caught rolling back with that OZ. Wow, really? That's crazy. El incomparable. My man is on the chat and he is incomparable. Jamar says rappers that sign rappers never pop. I mean, what about Jay-Z and Kanye West? What about Jay-Z and Beans? But let me give you a different example than Jay-Z. What about Rick Ross signing Meek Mill? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of examples of rappers signing rappers, bro. Major salute, Colossal the Don. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Had to come on here tonight or this afternoon. It's different. It's an afternoon blog. You know, I wanted to come on here this afternoon and do this piece because didn't really get to tap in on it last night. Last night we were pretty much covering why Hassan leaked that audio as well as all the criticism that is going towards the game right now. And you know, it apparently turned out that Wack and Hassan were going to be doing a podcast together, but there was also some conversation about the squeezing going on. You know what I mean? The squeezing of Nori, the squeezing of Gilly and Wallow, which I find, you know, because I actually know them guys like for real. Like I've met Nori on a bunch of occasions, done mad work with Gilly. You know, you're squeezing these dudes. You don't usually squeeze the dudes. You're not really usually squeezing the dudes who are giving you the alley oop. You know what I mean? The dudes who are giving you the alley oop, they're usually here, take the ball and go put it in the hoop. Don't take the ball and come over and crowd me. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the play. Look at the play here. Gilly, Adam 22, all of these bloggers were the ones putting putting Whack 100 in position to win. You know what I mean? They were trying to, maybe they were trying to shoo him away. Maybe they were trying to be like, listen, man, you're expecting us to do way too much for you. Let's give you a podcast so we can sort of shoo you away a little bit so you won't have to rely on us so much. And that's just a theory that popped into my head out the blue. You know what I mean? What's up? What's up, Kenny Mack? Cypress Hill versus Onyx. That sounds like a good poll, man. Wow, 57% of people say the game should not have signed Nipsey. Iceberg says, I want to see what Nori responds. Well, Berg, it's kind of like what I said. I think the way Nori responds is with silence. You know what I mean? Guys, I'm putting it up in the poll right now. Who will win the verses? Onyx or Cypress Hill? I'm putting it up in the poll right now. I'd appreciate it if y'all voted. Who's going to win that? Who's going to win that? Onyx or Cypress Hill? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. I'm about to break something else up. The Hill all day, Kenny Mack says. Yo, it's going to be an interesting versus. I'm going to hit Fredro up to see if I could possibly connect with him beforehand so I could get the interview. My boy was actually just telling me I need to go out to Cali, which I agree. I agree. You know what I mean? I really need to take everything that I'm doing and just relocate to California, or I was thinking Miami. You know what I mean? I really legitimately just could, but I'm just kind of dragging on that, you guys. You know what I mean? Staying here on the East Coast and shit. It's dope here on the East Coast. I got everything right beside me and shit. But honestly, I need to head out west and plant my feet down, as 50 Cent said in the song "Position of Power," because I'm getting a little bit too big. I'm getting a little bit too big for my britches out here. You know what I mean? As my grandfather used to say. So I really need to go out west and set my feet down and really see what I can make of myself in this world. Nico L says Onyx. Kenny says Hill all day, Cypress Hill. Nico says Onyx. Everybody vote in the poll, man. If you're watching this video on demand, though, how about you just drop a comment? Because the versus battle is going to be pretty lit. I love it. I love it, man. Be Real. Be Real is an artist that has really reinvented himself in the world of blogging as well. I'm big on his YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? I'm really big on his on all of his interviews, from the Smoke Box interviews. The Dr. Green Thumb shit is cool when it comes to all the weed and shit. But we all know that Cypress Hill has hits. Onyx is somebody. Onyx is just a group that a lot of people really modeled themselves after. The Baldy, you know what I mean? They really, they really had a wave in New York. I got to actually interview Fred Rostar though. I got to interview Fred Rostar. So yeah, Be Real TV. Be Real TV. Facts, man. Be Real TV. The Smoke Box, man. But that's not gonna be what comes into play when it's you know what I mean, the verses. What's gonna come into play is the records that both of these guys have, that both of these crews have. You know what I mean? It'll be very interesting to see what they can pull out at this verses. I'll tell you, even though it's one for the older generation, it's one that I'm going to be interested in. The last one that they had for the older generation, I wasn't too much in tune with, but this one I could actually rock out with. Now, whether that's because of the fact that I've been so in tune with Be Real, you know what I mean? The fact that I'm in tune with Be Real on the social media, and the fact that I've actually met Fredro and interviewed Fredro, that could play a part of it as well. That definitely makes me want to see how they compete against one another on the stage, man. Yeah, Iceberg. A lot of people say that 6ix9ine came in with the whole Onyx style. So what's the poll looking like, man? What's the poll looking like? It's looking like 60% of the people are saying Cypress Hill. Guys, if you're not following me, I want you to follow me on the gram right now. Everybody who follows me based on this video is going to get the immediate follow back. You heard? Whoever follows me based on this video is going to get the immediate follow back. So follow me on Instagram right now. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss a live video on this channel, you guys. You don't want to miss an opportunity to interact with me on this channel. I like to go in with everybody in the chat, man. King Wavy says, honestly, I don't know who is going to win. I'm 38, and I can honestly say they both had an impact. Buana says, yeah, it was Onyx. So we got, and you know what, man? There's gonna be some viewers brought out for this one. There's gonna be some viewers brought out for this one. I'm looking forward to some of these old school classic throwbacks, man. But like I said, everybody follow me. Yep, the last days. Everybody follow me on social media so you can stay in tune. Everybody that follows me right now, I will follow you back as well. I'm gonna literally go on my phone right after this video and follow everybody that follows me back. All right, so I'm about to get ready to roll up one more before I head out. Remember, we have a live video dropping tonight, you guys. Let me see. I'm going to give y'all one more minute on the chat if you guys want to vote in the poll. You guys have one more minute to vote in the poll if you want to right now. I'll give you that opportunity if you want to vote for Onyx or if you want to vote for Cypress Hill. Right now, we've only got 18 votes, but there's 65 of us in here. So let's go. Oh, wow, we just got some more votes, and it's actually 50-50, you guys. Yeah, Kenny Mack, you're right. You're just talking facts with some of their hits. We got 18 votes, you guys. It's literally 50-50. Onyx 50%, Cypress Hill 50%. I'm giving y'all 30 more seconds to vote in the chat. Vote in the poll right now. Y'all can impact this poll right now because we only have 18 votes. So we got enough for at least another 40 votes in there. I'm about to roll up. Looking forward to that versus, though, for real, for real. All right, we just got another few votes, and it looks like Onyx has now taken. It looks like Onyx has now taken the lead in it. So I'm about to end the poll, you guys. I'm about to end the poll, but it looks like Onyx has taken the lead in this one. So I'm going to tell you guys, I'll see you on the next live stream. Make sure you tune in tonight. I'm ending the poll right now. So if you haven't voted, I'm ending it right now, literally 10 seconds. I'm ending the poll. So if you want to vote, vote right now. If you're missing the poll, tell me in the comments. Tell me in the comments who you got in the upcoming verses. But it's looking like the polling is 55% for Onyx and 45% for Cypress Hill. Appreciate everybody for tapping in tonight. Again, follow me on Instagram, Mikey T _ the movie star. Everybody who follows me based on this video, I will follow you back. And if you're watching on demand, the link is in the description. And remember, guys, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel right now. Hit the notification bell. Don't ever miss a live video with Mikey T. This shit just gets too real.